What is going on, all you Jeffers crafters out there? So hey, you guys have been really enjoying this TrixyBlox, content that I've been watching. I've been enjoying watching it together with you guys. It's been awesome stuff. But yeah, we've seen him already do like the whole jungle in the ultimate survival world, right? Well, I'm going back a little bit now. He did, he recreated a jungle temple on its own in the past, and I wanted to watch this video. I never watched this before. It's almost like an Aztec temple. It looks like it's awesome, like always, and I wanted to watch this with you guys. Like I said, it's gonna be awesome. Let's do it, guys. All right, guys, here it is. You know what I realized? I say awesome a lot, so hopefully you guys are okay with that. I didn't realize how much I say awesome. It's kind of like my go-to word when I'm describing something that's great, that's unique, I'm trying to think of other words, but I just want to say awesome. Anyway, I won't ramble on about this. Let's get into TrixyBlox epic ancient Aztec pyramid, all right?
I vowed to transform the entirety of Minecraft, taking all of the in-game and naturally spawning structures and transforming them. Last time, we transformed a desert temple. Now, I don't know if you've ever actually come across a jungle temple before in Minecraft, but it will probably look a little something like this.
All right, so hold on. I just want to say this really quick before we move on. He has lived up to everything he has said, right? He said, I'm going to attempt to transform every structure, every biome in Minecraft, and to this point, he has lived up to his word, man. So amazing. Just wanted to say, I give tons of kudos, props, thumbs up to TrixyBlox. So all right, guys, here we go. So he's showing us the regular jungle temple, and then he's gonna start making this into something amazing. Here we go.
They're usually in a very densely populated jungle, and they're rather small. And the inside has a few booby traps and a little bit of treasure.
Right,
so here are a few key features that we need to address for this transformation. First things first, we're going to completely upgrade the surrounding jungle and give us a bit of space to work with.
Of course.
As vanilla Minecraft jungle is usually a complete mess. Secondly, we're going to upgrade the overall design of the temple and make it much bigger. And thirdly, add a few custom booby traps and include some actual treasure inside our newly created
like a new
jungle.
canvas, man.
So, starting with the jungle, I thought it'd be best to make an entirely new landscape that would house our new jungle temple smack in the center of the map.
I love World Painter. I just gotta say, if any of you have not used World Painter out there, you've got to try it. It's a little overwhelming if you're not used to doing stuff like this, but it's really not that hard to make something amazing like he does. Maybe it's more advanced, but still, I made this cool like volcano and a whole kind of jungle island just messing around on World Painter. So it's definitely worth trying this app if you want to make custom maps on Minecraft, So yeah, let's go. Let's watch some more.
Using a bunch of custom brushes, I was able to quickly whip up some mountains and easily create river valleys to break up the jungle. Now, I wasn't really sure how large I wanted the temple to be at this stage when making the world, so I just made sure to provide an island in the middle of it and leave enough space around it to work with later on in the build.
There you go.
Our jungle mountain range is complete, but it's looking a little bit bare. So let's create a bunch of custom trees to fill it in. Regular Minecraft jungle trees are, well, they're pretty ugly, let's face it.
Yeah, they're pretty boring.
So I figured now we have this brand new landscape to work with, why not create various different types of jungle trees to decorate it with?
Yeah, man. He makes nice trees.
I started by creating some dark wood, messy looking jungle trees covered in moss and vines for an overgrown look. In fact, that's basically the whole theme of this project. I said I wanted to make a few variations of different trees, so I also decided to make some palm trees and light oak jungle trees to add into the mix.
Very nice looking, man. Nice trees.
With our custom trees done, I wanted to quickly make some shrubbery that I could scatter around the temple. These would really help things to look very natural and even more overgrown.
Yeah, little bushes.
Now that we've got all of our greenery ready, we can start filling in the mountain range and make a proper jungle. Although because I've made so many variations of trees and shrubbery, I forgot to realize how long this would actually take. This was only 1/4 of the map. So let's get things moving, shall we?
That's a lot of work.
The thing is, jungles obviously are meant to be very overgrown and wild.
Right.
So the plan was to make a jungle that was organized, but still looked messy.
You've got to put tons of trees.
With half of the map jungleified, it was really starting to come together. And while it was a pretty painstaking process, I was happy that I decided to make all those variations of trees, as it made for a very realistic outcome.
The mountains look nice, you know?
Finally, I filled in the last section of the map with our trees and shrubbery. I'm not sure how many individual trees I ended up pasting in, but I know it was enough. Now, while we may have plenty of trees in our jungle, I felt that there were still a few large dead spaces within the mountains that needed to be filled in.
Making some waterfalls.
So I figured to add to this lush and natural landscape, we had to include a few custom waterfalls bursting out of the mountains.
That is
I've
beautiful.
used this technique so many times now, but it's still the best way to create some crazy waterfall designs. And not have Minecraft's water physics cause it to leak, spread, and cover everything you've built in an uncontrollable rage.
He puts wool before he changes it to water.
By converting the red wool into barrier blocks and the blue wool into water, it holds the liquid in place, keeping that desired waterfall shape.
Yeah,
as you can see, I've made several waterfalls all around the map. Meaning, I think we're done making our new jungle.
But it looks good, you know?
With the jungle complete, I pasted the vanilla jungle temple into our newly created world and prepped for transformation. I moved the vanilla jungle temple to one side as I wanted to create the foundations for the temple. As usual, I used various reference images for inspiration for this build, and ended up basing the design on Aztec pyramids. Now, funnily enough, these pyramids are like Egyptian pyramids, like the one that featured in the last transformation. However, these structures have staircases that ascend to a flat top, which usually resides a temple. This is where I repositioned the original vanilla jungle temple for later transformation. After blocking things out to get a basic and overall shape, I had to go in and begin etching in Aztec patterns and designs along.
Hold on, guys. Let me see something here. Let's take a look at that really quick.
For later transformation.
Okay, right there. Look at that gives you perspective right there on how big his jungle temple is compared to, because he put the original jungle temple right on top, and it's just like this little tiny baby, you know? So man, that's awesome. All right, here we go.
After blocking things out to get a basic and overall shape, I had to go in and begin etching in Aztec patterns and designs along the walls to detail and break up the solid grey canvas, without compromising the initial shape of the pyramid walls. With one corner done, I copied the design around to every other side of the temple.
Very nice.
With the base layer of the pyramid detailed, I continued a similar format upwards for the remaining layers. By using polished black stone and grey concrete, I was able to easily add depth to the designs in the walls without adding too many layers and making things too complex. As you can see, each layer is similar to each other, but not quite the same. They each feature different Aztec patterns to differentiate each level. Lastly, I carved out the wall of the staircase and added black stone to further break up some of the grey, before mirroring the design around the pyramid.
That's nice, man.
Along the side of these grand staircases, I started building out a podium to reside a fire plinth. I detailed it using some of the new 1.16 blocks and added a custom flame atop it using stained glass. Then, when the fire plinth was complete, I duplicated the design to sit on each level of the pyramid, and lastly, mirrored it to the other side of the staircase. Now, what's a little fire without some water? So, I decided to add these water channels throughout the top of each level to the pyramid. I positioned them along the edge so that water could flow over and down to every level of the pyramid.
That is cool.
With our newly created jungle temple finally coming together, I noticed the island it resided on was too large. So I cut away at the landscape and built down a cobblestone base. I etched out some water tunnels to surround the pyramid and built staircases down to a lower section. Continuing to cut away at the landscape, I brought out a singular section of terrain, as this cliff section that protrudes out of the island would support the bridge to the jungle temple.
Nice, man.
Before bridging
So much
across to
work
the jungle,
goes
I
into
thought
this.
now would be the best time to upgrade our original vanilla temple and finish off the top of the pyramid.
that
The
baby.
vanilla jungle temple has
Baby.
windows and every side was open to the surroundings. But that's probably because they are based on ruins that have been worn down with time. So to somewhat mimic this, I went for a very open design and left each wall open on every side of the temple. Following some of the reference images I found online, I came up with this menacing looking face design that came together by using pillars and fire plinths to act as the teeth for the face, while detailing the second level with eyes and a snout.
Ah, that's
you
cool,
can even
man.
argue that if piglings lived in the overworld, they might adopt this as their new home. This
There
is
you
the
go.
only entrance into the temple, so I had to make it look intimidating to ward off any thieves looking for treasure.
Yes.
As you can see, there is a lot of ugly, unfinished island remaining. So it was time to do a bit of manual terraforming to neaten it up and flesh it into the base of the jungle temple. Sand is the best way to do this, as it falls naturally when placed,
Yeah.
so it can be used to easily create some decent looking cliffs and mountains. The only downside to it though, is that your PC might catch fire now and then.
Too much sand.
After
And then you can
changing the
change it.
sand into a mixture of rock and grass, the island was almost complete. Out front, I began building out the remains of a large stone bridge that arched over the water below and connected each of the islands together. After creating that broken up bridge design, I was able to copy and reuse it to the other islands after neatening up any sections of broken terrain it caused along the way.
Oh, cool. It's like a broken
I included
bridge.
these large floodgates along the base and all the way around the jungle temple for a beautiful final effect once I converted the blue wool into water. Now these temples have lasted for thousands of years, and while the main structure of them tends to remain intact, nature gradually claims back what was once hers,
Yes.
leaving sections mossy, overgrown and crumbling away.
The trees,
I achieved this by
yes.
mixing in various mossy stone blocks and used slabs and stairs to break up some of the stone and act as debris. Lastly, we must decorate the few remaining islands and even the jungle temple itself with some trees and shrubbery, but before finishing the build off, there's one
Beautiful.
more thing to do. While the original large stone bridge had decayed and crumbled away with time, jungle tribes and explorers need a way to cross the islands and access the temple. So I laid out these large rope bridges.
Built their
But
own
with that,
rope
our
bridges,
jungle
yeah.
temple transformation is complete.
Ooh, here we go. Cinematics. Cinematics, everyone. Yeah. That is amazing. This is a sweet jungle island, you know? Did a great job. And the waterfalls. I love the way he does the waterfalls. Super smart. Wow, look at that scene. With the shaders on. Wow, what are you gonna find in there, right? It's so huge. Ah, it's a booby trap. Oh wow, look at tons of them now. Awesome. Look at that. Wow. I'm super impressed, man. Jeez. We have to watch his pyramid one. His desert pyramid. Epic desert pyramid or whatever.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video.
Okay, there, we're gonna stop right there, man. That was great, guys, man. Super impressed with his stuff every time, you know? I say it every time, but I mean, if I'm comparing the two, he's definitely impressed me more with the with the jungle that he created in his ultimate survival world. But this as just a standalone jungle island, amazing, you know? I mean, can't say anything bad about it, you know? So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thanks for watching with me. And I'm gonna see you guys next week with something else. We'll see. It's probably gonna be another TrixyBlox, maybe the Desert Pyramid. So come join me and have a good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Peace.